Skydio gaining FAA approval to conduct bridge in North Carolina. So earlier this week, the FAA granted the North Carolina Department of Transportation statewide approval to fly Skydio drones beyond visual line of sight to inspect bridges. Skydio describes the waiver as the first of its kind, saying that the North Carolina Department of Transportation will be able to conduct maintenance activities without the use of visual observers like trained pilots or staff. So like we were just touching on, we're seeing a lot of these waivers. I think what's interesting about this is actually under the current Part 107 rules. Jennifer, any insight into these waivers? What goes into them? Kind of what is that approval process? For companies that are maybe interested in more about that.
Yeah, I love this question. Gosh, for those of us who've been working in this space for the last 6, 7, 8 years, first we had the Section 333 waivers, then we had the Part 107 rule, and now we're really exploring the outer limits of what Part 107 allows and what those waivers can further allow, and what you can do without getting a Section 135 authorization to, essentially become an airline. And these are, there's sort of a chasm between the 107 and the 135, but I think what you're going to see is these kinds of waivers, like what happened in North Carolina, are really pushing the envelope of what you can do under 107 with waivers. And let's just be clear, I don't think the process is a super speedy process yet, although I think the flight over people rule likely to come out may give us a little more insight into what the FAA expects in order to allow for safe flight over people. And that will really help to continue to allow the FAA to grant these advanced authorities. But when you have a North Carolina type of situation where they've been involved in the IPP, they've been doing the testing, they've been sending their reports, the FAA knows what they've been doing, they've sort of done the crawl and the walk, right? So now they get to run. And so I think it's a great example of the testing and advances that can be made for using UAS technology, and the trust that the FAA can give to these kinds of programs. Skydio device is, I think, well respected. The operations, the safety of the operations proved in North Carolina, I'm sure, were a huge part of the FAA granting this authority. And it provides a nice roadmap, I think, to other states that might want to go down this path.